Hi there, Liesbeth and Kylie here, and we're about to start the Overland Track. First time doing a video, so we'll see how it ends up. But yeah, looking pretty spectacular, so stay with us. Bye. So, been walking for about 45 minutes, and we come across this, a beautiful little waterfall. Just magical. What do you reckon, Kylie?
Oh, it's magic, yeah, totally awesome.
Fantastic. Beautiful. So here we are at the little boathouse. Very cute. And check out the view behind. Just amazing. Spectacular. So we decided to have an early lunch today. We're nearly out, but it is blowing an absolute gale. So we thought we'd stop here before we get to the top because there's no shelter. So for me it is bread and cow cheese, I call it. And Kylie's got the crackers.
Yeah,
Vita Wheats and the cow cheese as well. The view is absolutely spectacular. It is not bad for a lunch spot at all. Pretty amazing, and you can see, oh, there's some other pokers, and in the background there you can see where we've actually come from. So I'm going to get on and eat my bread. Cheers. We made it to Marion's Lookout. I don't know if you can hear anything because it is blowing an absolute gale. We had lunch halfway up, and there's Cradle Mountain just behind us. Absolutely spectacular. Keep going, hey-ho! So I made it to Kitchen Hut, which is near Cradle Mountain. That's the mountain behind us there. There's a few people climbing up there, but Kylie and I have decided that, yeah, we don't need to do that in this wind, and also we're not very confident rock scramblers, so just having a snack of some almonds. Kylie's gone to use the facilities, the ablution block, the long drop toilet, and yeah, it's absolutely beautiful here. There's a bit of a meadow, there's a few other hikers just having a rest, and yeah, we'll be on our way again shortly. So now we're at this little emergency shelter pod for when you get caught in a blizzard or a storm. Don't know what that would be like if you're stuck in there overnight with a howling wind, but anyway, so we're just having a bit of a break. Kylie had a bit of a trip, but she's okay. She'll live anyway, so yeah, we've just been taking it pretty steady. We've walked from Kitchen Hut all along the edge of the mountain, and now we're just here having a little spell, and we've got 2.4 kilometres to go that away, so yeah, looking forward getting to our campsite, our hut, and we can have a spell and a relax and meet our tramily, our trail family. So see you soon. Here we are at Waterfall Valley Hut. We've just arrived. Kylie's making a beeline for the hut to get her shoes off, and brand spanking new. Certainly, nearly went off the gangplank there. That's the caretaker's cottage, and views are just amazing. Look at that, just spectacular. So I'm going to make a beeline for the hut as well. I'm going to get my shoes off, I'm going to unpack my sleeping bag, and then I'm going to make a cuppa. Right, morning of day 2. Had a pretty good night. We're all packed and ready to go. There's our hut, and we will be going the other way down that path. We'll go and check out the old hut first. And yeah, pretty good night. Ate all our food, and pack feels 500 grams lighter. Well, it doesn't really, but that's what it is. So looking forward to today. We're off to Windermere Hut, and hopefully a side trip to Lake Wills. So we'll keep you posted. See ya. So we've been going for about an hour, so it's time for morning tea. And we found a little spot in the shade, and Kylie's doing a quick patch on her toe with a bit of hiking wool to stop a blister. She's got a hot spot, so I swear by the merino hiking wool. You just get a little tuft and wrap it around your toe or wherever it's a bit sore, and you won't get a blister. So pretty good. So snack for me, nut bar, and Kylie's having something to eat as well, and yeah, we're just sitting here and enjoying the view while we have our little snack. and then we'll keep going again. It's a beautiful day, there's no wind, we've slathered our sunscreen on so we wouldn't get too burnt, and yeah, just glorious. So here we are at Lake Will, just about to get to the lunch spot. There's mountain, and again, just breathtakingly beautiful. This is a little side trip. It's only a bit over 1 kilometre, so half an hour or so, but yeah, might go for a bit of a swim, I think. So we're at Lake Will, and Kylie and I have just gone for the most wonderful swim ever. The water was cool but not too cold, and it just feels fantastic. So we're going to have some lunch now, and that's the backdrop. And this is our little lunch spot, so the cutest little beach you've ever seen. A few other hikers around, and yeah, it is just amazing. Couldn't have wished for a better day weather-wise. A little bit of breeze, but not too bad. But yeah, just that view, great. So I decided to do a little side trip to Innes Falls, about a tad over 1 kilometre, and as you can see behind me, well worth the walk. Just gorgeous. The track was a bit rough. I had to bush bash a bit, and I lost the track a few times and followed wallaby tracks instead of the proper track, but I got here in the end, and yeah, very, very nice. Looks super inviting. So back to see Kylie. I left her on the beach, and then we'll continue on. Cheerio. So just walked up to Windermere Hut. This is our night's accommodation, another brand new hut. Looks very nice. I haven't been inside yet, so I don't know what it looks like, but from the outside it looks pretty good. And on the other side we have a lovely view of Lake Windermere. So we walked past a little swimming hole before, but I just wanted to get to the campsite, to the hut, and unpack my bag and have a snack, and yeah, settle in for the night. So day 3, it's 8 o'clock. We're about to set off to Pelion Hut. Yep. And the weather is very overcast. It was windy last night, drizzly, so we've got the full-on rain gear on, pants, jackets, you name it. I hope we don't get too sweaty. Yep. But yeah, had our brekkie, had our coffees, our teas, and ready to set off for another day. Today's a big day. It's 17.5k, so we'll be walking quite a bit, but there's no real side trips, so we just keep walking, and yeah, I'll keep you posted. Right, we're at Forth Valley Lookout. We've been walking for almost 2 hours, and as you can see, the view is spectacular. You can't see a thing. It's been really misty, rainy, drizzly, and once we got here, it's actually quite windy, but we're not cold, it's quite mild, and just powering along. So yeah, walked through some moors and a few little lakes, and yeah, day's going well. We've just had a little snack. There's a tour behind us that are doing a bit of a thing, so
Finally shared some of their lollies.
And yeah, we'll motor on. So we've just come through this absolutely magnificent forest. I called it an enchanted forest. It was like this. There was a bit of bouldering, and it was just spectacular. The gnarly trees and the moss everywhere, and it smelt beautiful. It's still misty, but it didn't get down to the ground, so stayed dry, and yeah, just absolutely gorgeous. Just yeah, just how it was meant to be. Lunchtime day 3, we're at Forth River. We've just had a nice snack. We're at a little clearing with a little bridge where my socks are still drying, and a bit of water behind us. About 1,000 mosquitoes joined us for lunch. They're buzzing around everywhere, but yeah, had a nice little rest. Didn't get here till after 1. We sort of pushed through to get to here because we thought this is much nicer than doing it in the middle of nowhere. So pushed through and got here and had lunch, and Kylie's just packing up there in the background, and we're ready to get going again. We've probably got at least another hour and a half, if not 2 hours. We're sort of in a bit of a valley at the moment. We've got to go uphill, and then we'll be at our hut, Pelion Hut, for the night, and we'll keep you posted on that. So I've just done a little side trip to Old Pelion Hut. This was built in 1917, and it's still here. It's in pretty good nick, and it's for emergency shelter and just to for people to have a look at. Kylie's gone on ahead. She's at the hut by now, which is in the background. You can see it about there somewhere, a bit further, around there somewhere. So she's gone ahead, and I'm just having a little sticky beak here, but I shall head off soon too. So great view over there of the mountains, and yeah, I won't be climbing them. Just after 4 o'clock, and I'm at Pillion Hut, spot for the night. It's been a long day. We left at 8 and it was very drizzly this morning, and then by midday the sun come out and it's been humid but spectacular walking through the forest, and it's been really good. But now I'm ready for a cup of tea, take my boots off and find somewhere to camp. Good morning. It is day 4 and I'm in my little tent. I decided to sleep in the tent last night because the night before was quite noisy in the cabin, in the hut, and there's people that were very late and very loud, so I thought I need some sleep. So I'm in my tent, and it's a Dan Durston X-Mid Pro, and it rained all last night, and that is one of my most favourite things, is to be in a tent, all warm and cosy, in a sleeping bag that's toasty warm, and listening to the drip drip on my tent. And I actually had a fantastic sleep, nice and cosy, bone dry. The tent is absolutely perfect, no splashback, and yeah, I'm going to start packing up soon. We're going to try to leave at 8 o'clock this morning and have some brekkie, and I'll pack up everything inside, get dressed, and then I'll just dry my tent out a little bit under the veranda of the hut this morning. And yeah, another day. Let's see what adventures we have today. And it's day 4. Woke up very wet today. 8:30, we're about to set off, and it's drizzly, so we got the rain stuff on again. And yeah, not so long today, only about 8 k's, but we are going up a bit and then back down a bit. And yeah, see what the day brings. I'll keep you posted. Been walking for an hour or so, and I've just come across this cute little waterfall, just flowing away. Weather's still overcast, still a little bit drizzly. Had come down that little steep thing there, but didn't come a cropper, so that's always a plus. And that's the other side. Pretty cool. I'll go back up, and there's another one a little bit further on, so I'll go and check that out as well. So just walked a little bit further down the road, and this is the other little waterfall area. There was a big group of people here just before, but they've all gone, so I have the place all to myself. I've just had my little snack here, a muesli bar, a nut bar, and not a bad little spot to contemplate things. So it's starting to clear up, the sun is trying to come out, the clouds are dissipating, so yeah, on our way shortly. And we're ready to start our final walk up to Pillion Gap, where we'll have lunch, and we're in this beautiful forest just here. It's super quiet, and all you can hear is all these little birds and our breathing. It's just so still and peaceful, just spectacular, very pretty, but lunchtime will be good. So I've just done a little side trip past Mount Doris, and behind me you can see Mount Ossa, which is the highest mountain in Tassie. You can climb to the top, but there's a fair bit of rock scrambling, so I'm not even going to attempt that. But pretty blowy, it's gotten pretty cold, but the sun is trying really hard to come out, but yeah, I don't think it's having much luck. So I've just sat here for a little bit just to enjoy the views around me, and yeah, there's a hiker behind me. There's a few people just came back. They tried to get to the top, but they had to turn back because it was completely socked in and no visibility, so kind of not much point. Heading back now. So it's about 3:30 and I'm just about to get to our campsite for the night. This is Kia Ora. It's another beautiful brand new hut in the middle of the Tasmanian wilderness. Bit of a longish day today, it seemed. I think the wet weather probably made it seem worse than what it was. It's been drizzling and raining on and off all day. It's drizzling now, So the wet weather gear's been on all day, which sort of, it's a bit, gets a bit sweaty, but it's not too bad. At least it keeps you dry. So looking forward to having a cup of tea and a cup of soup and getting myself cleaned up, and planning on sleeping in the hut tonight. Had a night in the tent last night, but I think I'll sleep in the hut. So pretty amazing views again. It's the mountains are behind, and yeah, looking forward to sitting out on the deck and just seeing them. All good. Day 5, off to Windy Ridge / Bert Nichols hut. Bit overcast today, but the rain has stopped, but very cool, cold last night. So yeah, we should see about 3 waterfalls today, which will be really spectacular. And yeah, that's sort of what the day's looking like. And beautiful Cathedral Mountain in the back there. So see how we go. So I've been walking for an hour and we're at Duquesne Hut, a hut built in 1910 by Paddy Hartnett. He came as a prospector and a trapper. Nice little spot. Very, very old. It's quite fascinating to read the history inside. And beautiful spot that Paddy picked out to build his hut. Mountains in the background. Still a little bit drizzly, but not too bad. So we've just had our morning tea, had our snacks, and ready to get on the way again. So yeah, all good. That's the top of the hut. That's the chimney, actually. A wooden chimney.
Timber.
Gotta love it. All good. So we've made it to Dalton Falls, and looking very spectacular. Very loud, very noisy, but very, very pretty. There's Kylie enjoying the view. A bit of a steep path down, but not too bad. But yeah, quite extraordinary all the way down. Beautiful. So this is Ferguson Falls. Don't know if you can hear anything. It's pretty loud. Very nice. Not really my cup of tea because I'm afraid of heights. So there's Kylie admiring the view. So I'm hanging on to these trees for dear life, but yeah, very pretty all the same. Lovely. So this is Hartnett Falls. Another little side trip that I've just done. Kylie decided to stay at the lunch spot and she'll head on into camp, but I came down. You can walk all the way down to the waterfall, and it's quite noisy obviously, but again, just spectacular. You're in the middle of this gorge, water everywhere, and there's another hiker behind me. We walk down together, but yeah, just to be right at the bottom of the waterfall. It's been really dry here this summer, so I think when you saw these at full capacity there'd be a power of water coming down, but this is still pretty impressive, I think. So yeah, well worth the side trip. So I've just made it to Duquesne Gap. It was a bit of a slog. It wasn't particularly high in altitude, but after those 2 waterfall side tracks, I really felt it in my legs. So, but anyway, I'm here now, and it's all downhill from now on. So I'm pretty excited about that. And yeah, can't wait to get to camp and have a cup of tea, take my boots off and have a cup of soup. So hi-ho, here we go. So it's 4 o'clock and I've made it to Windy Ridge / Bert Nichols hut. Found today quite hard actually. I don't know why that is, I just did. Maybe because it's day 5 and didn't sleep all that well last night. It was a bit noisy again in the room. So, but anyway, I'm here now. Looking forward to getting the pack off and settling in for the night. Okay, day 6, isn't it? Started day 6. We're off to Pine Valley. Beautiful morning, freezing cold night. I think there was a frost. I was in my tent, Kylie was in the hut, and had a great night's sleep. And beautiful backdrop of the Acropolis behind us and some other mountains. We won't be going up them today, but yeah, it should be an easy downhill walk to camp, to Pine Valley. And then, yeah, see what the afternoon brings. Bring it on, hi-ho. So it's 10 o'clock. We've been walking for a bit over an hour and come across this nice little bridge with this little babbling brook behind us. So thought this was a good spot to have our morning tea. So I've just had my nut bar and yeah, really, really pretty. Just sounds divine. And we've got a bit over a kilometre to go to our turn off to Pine Valley. And then, yeah, see what happens after that. So there's these little suspension bridges on our way to Pine Valley Hut. I must say it's not my favourite because they do wobble and I'm afraid of heights, so I'm just doing a quick video and I'm going to get to the other end super quick. That's Kylie heading across the bridge. Very wobbly. You're not going to stop? You're going to keep looking down? Yep. I didn't look down, I just looked straight ahead.
Yeah, no, I like looking down, that doesn't worry me.
Oh, doesn't it? No. Not my thing. And she's at the end.
Woohoo.
Yay!
Now I've got a real wobble on.
A lot of the trail yesterday and today is made up of these tree roots. And they are a bit tricky because, well, especially yesterday, when they're super wet, they are amazingly slippery. But even today, yeah, they're just hard going because every time you put your foot down, you need to know exactly where you're putting it. And some are quite high off the ground and they'd be a perfect trip hazard, I think. Anyway, that's all part of it. On we go. So this, my friends, is wombat poo. And sorry to show you a video of some poo, but what I really find cool about wombat poo is that it's square. Wombats poo square shaped droppings. I don't know how they do that, but yeah, I find it quite funny. They look like firelighters. So 10 to 1, just arrived at Pine Valley Hut, and it looks like a little hut in the rainforest, a tree house in the rainforest. Really pretty. Bit tricky getting here. We have to go through a real dense enchanted forest, I call it. It's a bit hard to follow the track sometimes, had to look for the arrows everywhere, but yeah, all good. So I'm going to have some lunch now and then see if we want to head up to the labyrinth, which is a 4-hour return trip. So yeah, not quite sure if we'll do that yet, but we'll decide once we've had some lunch and made our beds and see how we feel then. So I've just walked down from camp to Cephesus Falls, and apologies if I pronounce it totally incorrectly. Just a little waterfall, only about 5 or 10 minutes from our hut, and very pretty, very secluded. Nobody else here. Kylie stayed in camp. So we did try to get up to the labyrinth today, but we got to a section that was just too hairy, climbing up a creek bed that was almost vertical with lots of rocks, so we gave that a miss, came back and just had a chill at camp, and I thought, no, I'll go and explore this little waterfall. So really, really nice. I'm just going to sit here for a bit and savour the moment. We've got 2 days left, so we're at the pointy end of the trip. Day 7, 8 o'clock, and we're on our way. We've packed up. We've had the best night in Pine Valley Hut, absolutely gorgeous, like a cubby house. And yeah, we're off to Echo Point today. It's a big one. It's about 17 k's, but our packs are getting lighter by the day. So yeah, we've got to backtrack to the junction, which is a few k's, and then it's all downhill to Narcissus Bay. We'll have lunch there hopefully, and then a bit further on to Echo Point, where we will be camping on the beach tonight, and maybe a swim. So stay tuned.
As Liesbeth takes off over the first suspension bridge. One person at a time. It's wobbly. Slow and steady. Yep.
So we're at our third and final, I think, suspension bridge, and got the mountain behind us. We've just walked out onto this beautiful plain, and we're both just trying to memorize this view. Just the mountains all around us, and sun's come out. We're in our t-shirts. That's the back of the trail, and just surrounded by beautiful scenery and mountains and ruggedness, and it's quiet, and I just have no words. It's just so beautiful. So 20 past 11, we've just gotten to Narcissa's hut, which is another campsite, but we're actually going to go through. The ferry comes here, picks people up that don't want to walk out, so we've decided to walk out to actually walk the whole length of the Overland. But here's the hut, and yeah, we thought we'd stop here for lunch, and then we'll keep going. But beautiful day, just little breeze, it's just great. Love it, love it. Right, 10 to 3, we made it to Echo Point campsite, our spot for today. We're going to have a swim in the lake, get unpacked and camp on the beach, which will be fabulous. So last night tonight, we're at Echo Point. We've pitched our tent on a little mossy spot just behind me, and you can see our little kitchen that we set up, and happy to be going home. We've had an amazing time. We've had fantastic adventures, but yeah, it's time to go. And Echo Point's where there's a jetty and the ferry comes, and behind me you can see the view that we have from our tent. Again, what a way to finish our trip. Just amazing, and so good. Just, yeah, spending time on this little beach. We had a swim in the lake before. It was freezing cold, but felt really refreshing just to get our dirt and grime off. And yeah, we'll be going to bed soon because we want to start early tomorrow, and then we'll walk to Cynthia Bay and get our shuttle bus, and yeah, back to the real world. So 6:30 in the morning, sunrise on our very last day. I'm feeling pretty excited about going home actually. We're just cooking our breakfast there, but yeah, just looking out on this great view of Lake St Clair, and a few other campers, hikers joined us last night, and yeah, it's been really good, but ready to go home. We've after 8 days, we've definitely had enough of being in the wild, and yeah, looking forward to seeing our families as well. Right, day 8, we've done it. 8 days of walking. I don't know how many kilometres, but I think there's a few. It's 7:30. We're setting off. We've got 10 k's to go, 11 k's to go, and yeah, we'll be at the end point, and we'll have a shuttle bus to take us back to Hobart. So
Come on, Cynthia Bay.
Come on, Cynthia Bay. We're both happy to go home, but it's been absolutely fantastic. We've had the best adventures, and yeah, it's been really good. Very grateful that we've had this opportunity to walk this hike together, and yeah, it's been great. So off we go. So I've been walking for 2.5 hours, and we've just come around the corner of the lake and walked down to the little beach, and in the background is Lake St Clair. That's our end point. So pretty excited to see where we're going. I've estimated another 2.5 kilometres to go or thereabouts. So should be there in well before the next hour. So yeah, savouring the last moments, but happy for it to be finished. We're both starting to get a little bit smelly now. We were in the same clothes the whole time, and yeah, definitely need for a bit of laundry attention. It's 20 to 12 and we've made it. We're at the end of the Overland. We have walked 124 kilometres in 8 days, which is just amazing. So a little bit emotional. It was amazing. And thank you, Kylie.
Thanks, Liesbeth.
It's been wonderful. So if you ever want to do it, absolutely do it. It's fantastic. So yeah, awesome. And there's the famous sign behind us. So we're going to take our shoes off and have a cup of coffee and something to eat, and yeah, it's going to be great. Loved it. Loved every minute.
Magic. Yep.